Hello, everyone. Welcome, Boyo and the Beard. B, it's been a little bit. How we doing,
It's
my good man?
it has been a minute. A couple of life scenarios going on, whatnot, and a couple of drafts. Just haven't had the time to really get on here and rip a couple of these episodes. But everyone out there, if you've missed us, glad to have you back. And it's going to be ramping up here in the next month. I think we're trying to look at 2 day or not 2 days, 2 days a week is what I was looking for. I was trying to think of 2 a days, but we're looking for two times during the week to rip these episodes. So we're gonna get there, and good to be back though. How you doing?
To be fair, Brian, there is no one that has missed us.
I got a couple
maybe,
lads.
maybe,
They've been
maybe
asking for
Whitey.
episodes.
Maybe Whitey. That's about it.
I got a couple guys asking where's the next episode.
Okay, that's fair. But it's not a hot commodity. There's a lot of better stuff out there, but working on a few things, see if we can't make it a better place. To be fair, I'm doing all right. Pretty stoked. We had a couple dynasty drafts that were going on here recently. Man, I am amped. I'm going to be going to the Chiefs training practice here on Saturday with the Mrs. family, and
Nice.
I've never been before. Have you?
I have not. No.
No. I'm going to be looking for our boy Travis Kelsey. If you can stay at it.
Screw that. Tell Justin Ross to go off this year for me.
Okay. I do hope Justin Ross does very well. He's looking at me. I mean, he's made some nice catches. I feel like Chiefs Twitter loves hyping Justin Ross. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Pacheco though, I hope to get maybe I can see Pops, see if he needs see if he's got a Sharpie on him. Maybe get a signature for him. I'd hang that
Yeah.
bad boy up in the wall real quick. So
You got a jersey of him too, yeah.
yeah, I'll probably have the missus wear Pacheco, and
Just
I'll
bring all
sweat
the
it out.
gear. Just
Yeah,
bring
I'll
all the
sweat it
gear.
out in the Kelsey Blacks. So their little 6-year-old on her family side loves the Chiefs, so it'll be a good time. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. So, but recently had a dynasty draft, our first dynasty draft with mates. So we're kind of go over that here recently. What you're hoping for out of these out of this first year, and how do you think you drafted? So, um,
Ugh, rough.
yeah, you're not stoked about it already.
I'm gonna say not stoked. I'm gonna be like we were talking about. I'll be in the mix. I don't think I have the best team to win it all this year. Like you said, you either want to be top three or bottom three. Normally, top
Yeah,
three, you got a chance to win the whole thing. Bottom three, you're looking to the future, selling off a couple pieces to get some high draft picks, all that kind of scenario, strategy wise, how that works and whatnot. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to be in the 4 to 9 range, somewhere in there. Maybe make the playoffs, may miss it just by a bit, but not really, uh, in my opinion, the team I drafted. Not a high hope of winning the entire thing this year, unfortunately.
well, you could get lucky. Um, it's I mean that's why you play the game. To be fair, I
We'll
think
just we'll just get into the roster and show everybody where uh, there were some mistakes made and kind of hoping for some high hope guys to turn their careers around, previous injuries and whatnot. If the two running backs I have actually stay healthy, I feel confident that they'll be top 15 ish. Hopefully, that's all I need from my two. I'm gonna be starting two running backs and four receivers with our super flex and all that stuff. So, I mean, we'll get into that and whatnot, but it's good. What's going to come down to is the running back depth on my team is not great.
yeah, we're gonna be we're a 12 team, start 9, or quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes, a tight end, and then a super flex to end it up. Um, and yeah, I think the best thing about Dynasty though is even when you're losing, you are winning. There's a way to turn it around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, You can piss money away in a redraft here real quick. But it's a long game for Dynasty, and yeah, you got to make the most out of it. So, um, I,
Definitely a different ball game.
yeah,
It's different strategies for sure. Dynasty, you gotta look for the now, but you also gotta look to the future. Redraft, you're just balls to the wall. I'm winning it this year. Kind of all that scenario. Also, at the same time, you joined our one of our keeper leagues. We'll
so
see
that
how that
goes.
goes with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Couple guys that are good keeper value, but one in that keeper league, you get to keep two guys where they were drafted the previous year. They go up around, so we'll see how that goes as well. So different strategies, different game plans, different just kind of a different game, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I just got back into fantasy football here last year, but
Yep,
I used to play with my pops back in the day with all his work buddies. It's a different game from when they were playing. And I think this is the best thing about it is you are making your own team. I mean, this is the best part about Madden, I thought, when growing up, was how can I create the best team? Didn't even necessarily want to play the game. I could simulate the whole season. It didn't matter. But I mean, playing GM is was always the funnest part about the
for
game for
sure.
me. Um,
Well, especially if you do a fantasy draft.
yeah, yeah,
That's the only way I play Madden. Don't really like playing online. I feel like the internet is always sketchy when I try and play online. It's a little laggy, whatnot. So I always just do the fancy draft and get the guys I want for my spots and play that for 2 or 3 seasons. And I always change the location too. You try and get those Dublin.
mm,
I forget what they're. You can do Dublin, Mexico, all these different locations, change teams, and get some new jerseys. That's what gets me going on playing Madden is doing that, and for sure fantasy draft, drafting guys that may not be ranked high overall, but those are your boys. Especially if you're a Homer K State guy, Deuce would be my number one if I get Madden this year.
mini me. That the epitome of mini me.
I mean, they go up in value really quick. If you just have a great offensive line, he could be a 64. That dude will be an 80 something by the end of the season. The points for those dudes is unreal.
And that's what makes Madden not real. So
For sure.
there is no way that Deuce Vaughn is going to end up like that. That just does not happen
Well,
in
I did it
real
with
life.
Pacheco last year. He was like I want to say 74, 76 to start the year. Started that boy as my RB1 because I usually draft running back way late in the Madden drafts. Like all the good ones are gone. I'm either going rookie or just some scrub. Went Pacheco. Dude was like an 86 by the end of the year. Stud, all star, all pro, all the things, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think the if Deuce Vaughn makes it, he is the Muggsy Bugs of the NFL. They're just outliers. These people don't happen.
I feel like there's no way he doesn't make the team.
Well, yeah, his dad is the coach. His dad's on the not a coach, but he's a part of the. This is nepotism. Is that the word for it?
Something like that. Gosh, I can't think of the word. I'm trying to think of the word where there's actors that have kids and they get brought into acting just because their parent was an actor, even though they might be trash, whatever.
No, it's nepotism. That is the word. I
There you go.
was I was just being facetious. That is how Deuce Vaughn is getting drafted.
He'll probably be the three, especially with the PED Ronald Jones missing the first couple games of the year. Malik
Yeah,
Davis will be the two, and I think Deuce will be the three. I think he'll be limited to special teams, punt return, kick return. At least that's what it looked like in a couple practices that he was trying to field punts and kickoffs. Didn't do that in college, and the clip I saw, he fumbled one or two. Didn't look great, so nerve
yeah.
wracking. But I don't think they have any other options unless they sign one of the free agents, Cook, Fournette, something like that. Um,
I
They
mean, they
might
got
sign Zeke. They could sign Zeke back as
Zeke
well
back,
at
yeah,
a different
yeah,
pay
pay
grade. But
structure, yeah.
yeah, prayers up, Deuce. I love you, bud.
Yeah, K State's put a lot of. I mean, Sproles, he was a late product freak,
Yeah,
but to be fair, outlier.
yeah,
These folks don't happen too often.
no,
To
for
be fair.
sure.
Um, getting into the draft though. Let's maximize this guy here a little bit and show what we have going on. Actually, let's just maximize. So, uh, Brian, Daddy, you get the 10 spot. Um, when you get the 10 spot, what are you thinking? What's your idea?
Not great. Again, I got the last of the quarterbacks that you would draft in the first round, essentially. Fields is young, pretty good numbers last year. I forget where he ended up fantasy wise, but he was. I feel like he was top 10. Got the rushing ability. They beefed up the O line this year. Had some weapons on the offense. DJ Moore in particular, but at that 10, 11, 12 spot, 10, you're hoping to get that last quarterback that's worthy of a first round pick. And that's kind of what I did. Was kind of hoping Lawrence fell to me, but he obviously got drafted before me. So,
I mean, to be fair, the last half of the season, Justin Fields was nice.
yes.
So, but yeah, they give him a nice line. They beef up the wide receiver core a little bit. Maybe Claypool comes around. I don't know.
Another year in
Um,
the system, hopefully, that works out. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think they got really nice running back depth. So possibility there. I mean, I I think Bears are gonna make a run. I think Minnesota is looking dodgy. They are getting rid of a lot of dudes on their defense. Jordan Love's up in the air. Who knows what's going on there? Tom is high on the Chicago Bears. He is amped for those
Yeah.
dudes. I mean, Justin Fields. I mean, he's going to put up fantasy points. So
Yeah, just that back end of the first round on a dynasty startup is it's rough.
yeah,
Again, I could have gone Bijan or AJ Brown, something like that. Taylor, Garrett Wilson. In my opinion, I just had to get a quarterback that first round.
yeah,
Um, I wasn't going to do it if Fields was gone. If Chase or Jefferson fell and Lamar and Fields went up in the draft at 5 and 8, it would have been a different story. I definitely would have gone with one of those Jefferson or Chase top receivers, but luckily, in my opinion, Fields landed kind of where he's been drafted, and I had to get a QB1 in that first round.
yeah. That's fair. CD Lamb, second spot. Pretty good pick, I think.
Young, number one for Dak. We'll see how the offense changes this year without Kellen Moore. I still think they're a better passing team than they are. I mean, they have a great run game, but that passing game is lethal once they get the run game going. Definitely wanted to go Young here. It was between Lamb and Brown. They're just they're kind of similar guys route wise and whatnot. Um, I went with Lamb because he has the least amount of weapons to affect his overall production. Uh, Detroit, you got Jameson Williams. They added Jameer Gibbs this year. Got another tight end and Laporta. Who else is there? That Marvin Jones is back.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
Dallas, it's pretty much CD Lamb. Brandon Cooks is and then
I think Brandon Cooks may be nice. To be fair.
Gallup's always talked about and hyped up, but he just can't ever put a good full season together. So definitely wanted to go Young. I was thinking about Brees Hall as well, but the ACL scared me.
Yeah.
Um, Jameer Gibbs was he was too early there for me. So yeah, definitely went with Lamb there.
You snag Bryce Young in the third, and You have Eckler, you have Murray, Richardson, Hill, Prescott going in after him. Didn't want the stack with Prescott?
They went before me on the wraparound.
Um, yeah, you're right. Didn't want Danny Jones to Stroud, Pitts, Cup. I guess you got Cup in the back wraparound, but didn't want to. I mean, I guess trade up for the for Dak stack.
Nah, I wasn't feeling it. I mean,
Are you stoked about Bryce Young?
not this year. No.
No. Yeah.
He'll definitely. It's going to be. I'm trying to find a comparison of a rookie guy that he'll probably have a Trevor Lawrence rookie year.
Okay.
Have some growing pains. Have some games where it's like, okay, this is what we hope the future is, and then he'll have a couple games where it's like, oh boy, uh, he got thrown in the fire and it's not really putting up. That pick was more of a this dude's 22. He'll get together. They'll get some pieces around him. Granted, this year he's got a bunch of old dudes and cement shoes Thielen and DJ Chark, who can't seem to stay healthy, but that's more of a future pick there. Danny Jones, I love the ability. I think Bryce Young just has a better future, and then obviously Tua, you don't know what's going to happen if he gets injured, tackled. That dude's questionably shouldn't even be playing anymore. And then obviously, I think Bryce Young's the better quarterback compared to Stroud. Yeah, and then Pitts, nothing. I didn't really want to draft a tight end this early. Pitts, Andrews, no. I guess I could have gone running back here and might have overdrafted for Chubb or ETN, but I just went with Young.
I think with if it's a tight end premium, questionably snag the tight end there.
Pitts is young. That's the only upside to him is it's just he doesn't have a quarterback.
He's got a dog water quarterback. Ritter, I don't know if he can hit the backside of the barn. I'm not high on him, to be fair.
If he had if Pitts had Matt Ryan like 4 or 5 years ago, I would 100% snag Pitts. Andrews, he's getting up there in age. They reloaded that entire offense with weapons. I think he's going to take a step down. I still think Andrews would be top 10, but he won't be top 3 like he has been the last couple of years. And he's up there in age. I think he's 28, 27, 28, something like that. So, yeah, I was trying to keep it somewhat young. The first 3 picks were under 24. That's good for the future.
And then take a little bit of a turn.
Cooper Kupp did.
Off an injury.
That was more of value of anything. In most dynasties I've been seeing, he's been going middle third round, kind of where Tyreek Hill's going. That you actually got in third. That's kind of where Kupp's been going. I just thought the value was too good there. He just gets targets. I don't care how bad the Rams are going to be this year. That dude gets screen passes left and right and just gets targets left and right. Like you said, yeah, I could have gone London or Metcalf, the younger side, but I think the value was just too good there to miss out on them.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think, to be fair, because I think at this point, like Cooper Kupp, he has one, he's coming off the injury. I mean, I guess he missed but I mean, he was averaging points per game was like over 20. 22, 23, something like that here last year.
Also, the injury was just a high ankle sprain. They weren't making
and they shut him down.
They just shut it down. So it wasn't like a Achilles or an ACL. That's
true.
That was the other thing that I was thinking about as well. So,
yeah, Andrews, maybe I don't know. I don't know what you would have done in this scenario. But I think if you go Cooper Kupp, I don't know if you can trade him for the value that you're going to get out of him. So
yeah,
I think this kind of turns you into I'm winning now in his next 1 to 2 years.
That's fair. Yeah.
You go into the 5th round, you snag Jordan Addison, who I think is going to have. I mean, I do think Minnesota's going to be playing behind quite a bit this year because I think their defense is just going to be god awful.
I mean, it
Can't
has
st-
been the last couple of years. Yeah, their
and
defense is just bad.
can't stop anyone. You get rid of Thielen. You do add Hawkinson to be fair, but Addison should be a target monster over these next 2 years. I think pairing him and Jefferson
Yep.
is going to be pretty nice. Um, I think I would have. I mean, if you could have gotten Jerry Judy instead of Addison, I think I would have been more high on that. But I think Addison's going to be pretty nice over these
Oh, I
next
was
few years.
100%. I was 100% right there. I was going Jerry Judy.
Yeah,
If he got to me, I was 100% going Jerry Judy. And I know the three guys ahead of me talked about getting him, and yeah, it just didn't work out that way. I was 100% going Jerry Judy there. Addison kind of just fell there. Again, you got Jefferson that's guaranteed two guys on him 70% of the time. And again, yeah, their defense is atrocious. So they're going to be playing
yeah.
a lot of high scoring games. I think they're going to have a top 5 offense.
They have to if they want to stay in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
you don't know what their running game is going to be with Madison as the one now. He's similar to Dalvin Cook. I don't think he has enough. He's not up to Dalvin Cook's level in skill, in my opinion, but he's adequate. When you see him out there when Dalvin Cook's had missed a couple games the last couple of years, you can kind of see it. We'll see if he can put it all together, being the number one and doing that. But yeah, if they want to stay in games, make the playoffs, they're going to be slinging it. And him being the number 2 opposite of Jefferson, I think he's going to have a lot of space to make some plays.
Why did you ponder taking Henry there at all or no?
I did, but again, I think this might be Henry's last year of being anywhere relevant, in my opinion.
That's fair.
Maybe 2 years, but he's had so many carries, and he's 29. I think this might be his last year. In reality, like you said, yeah, I definitely needed to get a running back for sure. There was just nothing there on the kick around. It was Henry, and then if you go to the next round, it's Javonte or Miles Sanders. It's few and far between.
Yeah, and I don't think if you go
Javonte, I don't think he's starting the year on the active roster. That knee got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
We'll see how that pans out, and if he's definitely lost a step or two, but we'll see how that pans out. Going to round 6, Kirk Cousins. I think that was I wanted to get a third quarterback somewhat early to kind of throw everyone else off that hasn't really done a dynasty before and kind of pressure them into drafting QBs left and right.
Would you?
In reality, I probably should have gone Sanders
Goff?
there.
Oh, okay. Sanders. Okay.
I did think about Goff as well because he's
28,
5-6 years younger than Cousins, something like that.
Yep.
I think Cousins is 34 and Goff's 28. I
Yeah.
did think about Goff and the way their offense played last year, and I think he's on the up and up. I think he'll be I think they'll both be top 10 quarterbacks fantasy wise this year. Again, getting a quarterback 6 years younger, longevity is going to be a factor there. I felt like drafting Sanders there was too much of a stretch, in my opinion. Granted, I have to wait another, 12 picks?
Yeah.
14? Whatever it is. I probably should have gone Sanders there. I think that was the first big mistake of my draft. I was happy with the first 5, but I got my 2 quarterbacks. I got 3 receivers. I should have gone running back there. I think that was the mistake that I made. Still happy with Kirk Cousins because I don't think Bryce Young's going to have a great year this year. Like I said, he'll be a Trevor Lawrence and kind of have that rookie year where it's like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. He's got it. And then they'll have a couple games where it's like, they kind of threw him into the fire a little too early.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the starting lineup, Cousins is going to be my super flex, and Bryce Young's going to ride the bench until matchups wise and kind of seeing what he can actually do. Then I might change that, and then I might trade Cousins for another running back, top tier running back or something like that. But I think that was the big mistake.
If quarterback comes out before this draft, are you drafting Cousins with the amount of times that he gets hit in that in that
I know, dude. He gets
Oh my
levels. Yeah,
god.
great
If
show, by the way.
I didn't watch too much of the Vikings, but that's all they seemingly harp on is how much Kirk Cousins gets railed.
Yeah, ribs just taking shots left and right, just railed. Yeah,
I Did they beef up their line at all?
I don't think they
Minnesota?
did. Aston was their number one. I can't remember where they drafted 2 and 3, but they have a top. In my opinion, they have a top 5 left tackle, so his blind side should be good. I don't know about the rest of the line though.
Yeah. He was getting shelled.
Yeah,
Um I mean I think Miles Sanders is gonna be nice this year.
I do too. I just yeah,
26. Um and I think this is something I had done a draft before. So this is my second dynasty draft. I did 3 in a matter of like 3 weeks. Um and I think like when I got down to it, you kind of have to get rid of the all setting, and you have to look at the quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and you have to look at who is left. Like honestly, ADP at some point like shouldn't really matter. It's like what do you need for your team? And I think I learned that too late as I was going through this.
definitely for me. Yeah,
I mean I kind of got nervous with some of these things, and it's like it just if it doesn't work for your team, it doesn't matter what the ADP is ahead of it. And like
that was my issue for sure.
yeah, I mean hindsight's
I put
2020.
way too much value in the ADP.
Yeah,
Because after the draft, you saw me being like, "Why are these dudes drafting these guys 20 picks ahead of whatnot?" That was my mistake. Doing the mock drafts for the 12th team and being at the
yeah.
10th spot, I did, I think 3 or 4 of the 80 or 3 or 4 of those just to get ready for this draft. And uh, everyone else, if you're out there looking at the board, if you look at it, yeah, ADP was not a factor whatsoever in this draft. And again, that's my mistake. Grant, this is my only second actual league that I've been dynasty wise. I
Mhm.
should have just gone for the guys
That made sense for your team.
that made sense for me and for the
Yeah.
future. And I didn't really do that. I kind of more so based off the ADP. Again, Cooper Cup was the ADP pick. Um, yeah,
Y-
Cooper Cup might have been the other big mistake, but for sure Cousins was because I was the first one to actually rip 3 quarterbacks, and that was in round 6, which was hindsight 2020, not good to draft your third quarterback in round 6, but
Uh, then again, I think
I got
I,
trade value compared
yeah,
to everybody else that got a second quarterback late. So
yeah, and I think you got to I mean,
I got to
to
make
be
some
fair,
moves.
Kenny Pickett as a second quarterback, I would not want that.
No,
Um, I mean, I don't know where Cranch was at. Did he go Geno Smith?
right after me.
I don't know.
Geno's fine for a super flex. That's you don't want Geno being your one. Geno's fine for a super flex. Jordan Love is your number 2. That's rough.
I mean,
Uh,
even like CJ Stroud. I mean, I
Ritter
guess
being
Stafford.
Ritter being your number 2. That's rough.
Yeah, I don't know where else did Whitey move. He had Derek Carr as his number 2.
Okay, that's yeah.
That's a little bit better, but yeah, um, yeah, it is. I mean, like Gonzi, A Rich. I mean, he could be ceiling as like a top 3. His
Yeah.
floor could be like a I don't know
I mean, but yeah, again, looking at
25.
his team, he kind of did what I did, got that young quarterback. But then I also overdrafted on the third quarterback to actually be my number 2. So
Yeah, but I think when people are going to come down to it, people should understand the superflex. You should need two quarterbacks. Like
Correct. Yeah.
you want to top
Quarterbacks put up the most numbers consistently week in and week
consistently.
out.
Yep, there's not a lot of. I mean, it's pretty steady Eddie.
Yep.
You're not going to get the. I mean, you're going to get some pop offs and you're going to get some low weeks, but you should be median.
For sure.
So
Yeah, you'll have that occasion where if those specifically those two teams where you have Pickett and Jordan Love as your number two, there's on their bye week you throw a running back or wide receiver there, and they have a
yeah,
40-point game or something like that. Or
yeah,
for specifically for Superflex, your strategy should definitely be to have two quarterbacks.
yeah. I agree. In a pretty like baseline scoring, like
Yeah, for
run of the
sure.
mill scoring.
Yeah, we're not doing any crazy scoring in this league. It's pretty standard. So
No, no. DeAndre Swift, he's the RB1 of your squad. What do
yeah,
you
um,
are you nervous about that?
dude. If the dude can stay out again, another guy under 24. I think my first 8 picks are 6 of them are under 24. I think the only 2 are Cup and Cousins that are older than that. Again, that kind of just felt me. If you go to the left, I wanted Mixon, Aaron Jones, and Ricard White. Those are my 3 that I was ready to rip.
Yeah,
You obviously took Ricard White, great pick. And then Aaron Jones, again, me in my head, nobody's going to draft this dude. ADP wise, he's 15 picks away at that spot.
yeah.
So that guy overdrafted, but again, that's
Made
good
sense
for
for his
his.
team.
That's what he won for his team. Is what I should have done. Is if I was going just for the guys that I wanted, I definitely would have changed my draft strategy. But I was just going ADP, and Swift was right there where he should be ADP wise. But definitely, Ricard White was my number one coming on this kick around in the 7th, or was this the 8th? 7th.
Seventh.
Coming on the kick around, yeah. Ricard White was my one. Aaron Jones was my backup. After you picked him, I was like, okay, I'll go Aaron Jones because nobody's picking him here. And he obviously got picked. And then I was like, okay, Ravens flock needs another running back. He's a huge Ravens fan. There's no way he's taking Joe Mixon. And then he mentioned in the chat several times, haha, this is gonna kill me, but I gotta take another running back. I'm going Mixon. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? So Swift was strictly ADP wise, 4th on the list of guys I wanted at that spot. If you go to those 3 guys ahead of him, yeah. If he can stay healthy, that dude puts up numbers. Again, that's just his issue. He can't stay healthy. His shoulder seems to pop out left and right every 4 weeks or something like that. So we'll see. Like we were talking about at the beginning of this episode, if him and Akers, they can just stay healthy and they have a resurgence, I feel comfortable with them. As long as they get like a minimum of 10 points a game, and that I feel like that's somewhat not asking too much, but kind of asking somewhat more than it should be. I think they're more in the 7 to 12 range is where they're going to be scoring every week. They'll have a couple good games, and then it's like, oh yeah, they'll work for me, and then there's going to be games where it's like, okay, they didn't do anything.
I think the thing that worries me about Swift is Philadelphia has 3 backs that they seemingly run. Plus, you have the QB sneak, and
yeah, goal line work is trash when it comes to that. You got to hope he's the best receiving back out of that backfield though. So I think he'll be on a lot of passing downs for sure.
I think that is the problem with that though is that they have a running quarterback, and like how many dump offs did Jalen Hurts have last year?
Not a lot.
And so I think the saving grace with Swift is I think this is a one and done for him because I mean they can get rid of him next year for a compensatory pick, right?
Yeah, they just let him walk. Yeah, because he was a second rounder. You just let him walk, get a third or fourth round pick for a team signing him for sure.
So
But
I
again,
think
he's playing for a contract. Is the other thing is what I'm hoping for
that's
that
true.
he goes off. He just shows stays healthy. Shows teams, hey, this is my first year of being fully healthy. This is what I can do. Give me that deal. I don't know.
Yeah, I I don't know. I'm torn on this one. I think Aaron Jones would have been a little bit more nice.
For sure.
Um,
Any of the three guys I talked about would have been way better than what I picked. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think Aaron Jones. I think Green Bay is going to be slow, and I think they're just going to run the mess out of the ball, just to, I mean, strictly keep Jordan Love out of the fire. Mixon,
Mhm.
I think, is going to catch a lot. Um,
And he's the only guy there. P Ryan's gone.
yeah, I mean, I guess
It's
people can say
Mixon's last year on his deal. They're gonna run him into the ground and let him
I
walk.
think so too. I think so too. So, um, but I think, yeah, DeAndre Swift, and then you go to Pacheco. It's like, I don't know if I do that. Akers, I mean, I don't know if you take him above DeAndre Swift. Madison, I mean, maybe.
I just
But
need
then,
another running back there to
yeah,
fill out the essentially starting roster of my team.
yeah.
Akers was the better option over Madison. If you go back and look at round 9 on the kick around, James Cook, Kamara.
Would you have? Would you have rather taken Christian Kirk there?
Uh, with Ridley coming back this year, no.
How many more years does it really have in his contract? Do you know?
I'm not sure if he's.
Oh wait, he's on his last. He's on his the rookie deal. So
Is
I
he?
think, yeah, he's still on his rookie deal at 28. So I
No,
think
he's
this.
not.
Yes, he is.
He's not on his rookie deal. Atlanta re signed him.
Uh, let me-
You're
I'm
not going to get
almost
a rookie deal at 28.
for the.
You make it to the league after 4 years in college. You're a minimum of 22, 23. And then you got a 4 year deal, 5 with the option if you're in a first round. Ridley
Um,
signed a new deal with Atlanta at some point, and then Atlanta had the issue of him gambling and benched him, or he got suspended. There's no way he's still on his rookie deal.
I'm. I'm almost positive, dude. I think this is his last year of the. He's an unrestricted free agent next year. Fifth year option, exercise, guaranteed likely to void. I
So then last year just not count towards his contract. Then that had to been the issue. Then if he's still on his
likely to
5 year
void.
option,
Yeah, yeah, likely
okay,
to void last year.
that
So
that
he's
makes more
technically
sense.
on his
So he should have had a
his.
new contract last year if he
Yep,
didn't decide to get
that's right.
suspended. Okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah. So he.
But with Ridley back,
It's crazy.
that Kirk was iffy. I already had the 3 receivers. I, I guess I could have just waited on a running back there. Let's see who came there: Kirk,
I mean,
Cooper,
I guess. Do you think?
Tony,
Yeah.
Hollywood, Hopkins. I don't. Yeah, I don't like any of those receivers behind the Akers pick. Um, Rams are to be bad. Um, I think they're going to try and slow the game down, run the ball more than they have in years past as well. Um,
Man,
if he can stay healthy, he had a good, solid last 6, 7 games of the year last year.
he was a league winner last year. To be fair,
Uh,
if you had him on your team,
yeah,
him and Jay and Jet. I mean, they were nice.
he finally, him and McVay finally figured out their issues, whatever it was, and I think he's getting a lot of volume this year. Question is that Achilles hold up? Um, he's a good receiving back as well, so they're going to be in a
Yeah.
lot of games. I feel like he'll get a lot of dump offs this year, but again, issue for my team is definitely running back. That's the weak spot.
I think that.
We're
I mean, kind of lay of the land though. Can you offer a? I mean, like theoretically, could you offer a third round pick for James Cook or I don't know, like Herbert maybe, or a second round pick for a future for Herbert, or I mean, like
I gotta make some trades before the season starts, or
I I,
I
I
kind of
think
want to. I kind of was thinking in my head, I gotta wait the first 6 weeks, see where I'm at.
I think the first four. I think the first four is fair. Because I mean, to be fair, we also play up against the median. So if you have,
That's fair. Yeah.
if you have more points than half the league, you also get a second win. But I think that really gives you a good understanding of where you're at compared with the rest of the league.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, week four, I mean, if you're 6-2, I mean, you're sitting kind of nice. I mean, I think you should probably press for things. Doing like 2,500 simulations, you're sitting at four out
Yeah.
of out of our our league.
Yeah.
Four is, I mean, that's you probably shouldn't fold at that point, you know. Um, but then again, and I think this is kind of the tough thing is like, do I push my chips all in?
Hmm.
But if it's not, do I push my chips all in if it's not a guaranteed thing? But then again, like, is it ever really a guaranteed thing? People are gonna get hurt.
Playoffs is never a guaranteed thing.
No, but I mean, I think yeah. I mean, to be fair, 2,500 simulations. I'm sitting at eighth. I don't know I can't. I don't think I can make a big enough jump to get to, and or should I make a big enough jump to get to those top three? I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
s-
you got 3 first round picks though for next year. That
yeah,
also factors in.
fair.
If you're in the mix coming down to the getting into the playoffs, I would trade year one for something because it's going to be a lower pick
Yeah.
compared to the other two. Just, I mean, you kind of have to look at that if you're going off that route,
Yeah.
where the first round picks that whoever you got those from, where are they landing in the
Hmm.
draft scheme of things? So
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, it's definitely a mind
Yeah.
game when it comes to
What
this.
again?
So
You snag Njoku, you snag Lockett. I like Lockett. I think he has. I mean, he's another guy who's like one more good season, two more good seasons out of him. I
yeah,
think.
I mean he's the last 5 or 6 years, 1,000 yards. I
He's
think 8
he's steady
touchdowns.
Eddie. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
I think
nice.
that was a good value pick in my opinion. I was literally looking there. I was like, I need a tight end here. I wanted Njoku or Ingram. I didn't want to wait for Schultz, Mayer, Dolchich, Laporta. I just needed a tight end there. I really wanted Waller, but
Yeah.
uh, on that, obviously I took Akers on that before that kick around to Waller. I probably if I had a tight end or Waller was still there, I probably would have got Montgomery or Charbonnet or Arcane before Njoku or Lockett, but it just kind of fell that way where I needed a tight end. So yeah, Njoku, he had some good reps with Watson last year. I think they take a step up this year. And then, like you said, Lockett is just steady Eddie, 30, 31, something like that.
He's
5 years
still
in a row, a
still
thousand
gets it,
yards and
man.
8 touchdowns. So, and I think he might even have a better year than he did last year with them adding JSN. I think that opens up the field even more in the passing game. So just steady guy, also a homer pick, but definitely needed.
Yeah. Mayor. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen in Las Vegas. I don't. They suck.
They do.
Um,
That's a future pick. Just kind
Cole
of where,
Kmet just got a huge contract. I mean, I think he's gonna get some nice targets.
yeah,
Um,
kind of bad on me on the back-to-back tight end picks there. I should have taken one of them, and I can't remember if it's on the kick round, which way it is.
Maybe Khalil Herbert there.
I would have gone. Yeah, I should have gone. I should have just taken one of those tight ends. Got Bigsby. Roquan Johnson, Herbert, Elijah Mitchell was another one that was a thought, and definitely McKinnon. But I didn't expect you to draft him that early. I was waiting for him. I was waiting for him to come back right there at 13-10. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely, Mayer was future tight end pick, 21, 22-year-old, young. So he'll be put on the taxi squad and used in later years. Komet, yeah, I shouldn't have gone back to back tight end. That was just kind of dumb. I won't. For the future with Mayer, Komet was more of a combo with Fields. If they get going, I might throw in Joko on the bench and Komet in there if him and Fields have a better repartee this year. What was that? 13. I was definitely going McKinnon here.
Yeah.
You snagged him, like we've done in the mock drafts in previous episodes this year. I think you had him in one, and I had him in the other. Um, we're definitely high on him just because those last 9 weeks of the year where he had
He went nuts.
9 tutties in a row.
Bonkers.
After him, I wanted P. Ryan, and obviously he went right after McKinnon, so it was kind of best available here.
Damian Harris may not have been a bad idea. I don't know. I think. I mean, I I think the problem with Penny is like you're not going to play Penny and Swift in the same week, and I
No,
don't necessarily know when you're going to play Penny over Swift.
Penny was
So
just a backup. That's they both have injury history. That
yeah,
was if one goes down, the other one's going to get loads of volume. That was kind of my thought process there.
yeah. Um, I think it as a third running back that you have on the squad, and I have the same problem. I got like 5 running backs myself, but like as a third running back on the squad, I don't necessarily know if you want the backup for one of your first two.
That's
I
fair. Yeah,
I don't know.
I just didn't
Hindsight's
feel good about.
2020.
I just didn't feel good about any of the other guys after him. Was my issue.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's and then I mean I think going later on, uh, Justin Ross. I mean I was livid that was the pick there. Um,
Were you going him that round?
Chiefs Twitter, they know what they're doing, man. I mean, they are hyping him up any chance they get
Mm-hmm.
for that, and I mean, rightfully so. What a great story. But God damn it, yeah, I was livid when that happened. I mean, we got eight guys in this league that are Chiefs fans. So I mean, what are you gonna do?
He was going
Um,
somewhere.
he's going somewhere. So yeah, I think then you round off with a couple Fournette, kind of a punt, just see
He'll
where he
end up
goes.
somewhere. Yeah.
Kyron Williams, another backup for um,
Cam Akers. I had Sonny Michelle. Obviously, he retired. So
retired.
Kyron Williams is a good backup
Pretty quick
there.
one. Yeah. Um, and then you snagged a couple backup quarterbacks just in case someone goes down and maybe you can't
Yeah. The
trade.
last what was that round? Which round's Josh Palmer in?
Uh, Palmer
18.
is
I would
in.
say Foreman down was kind of the backup to everyone essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
See if you can't get maybe like a third round pick or something off of some of these guys. I mean, Greg Dortch, they're going to be in a dodgy offense, and who knows who's going to come out on top on that.
injuries, it was I'm just
Yeah. So
essentially the rest of those guys is just if someone goes down, I can trade that for something hopefully. So
yeah, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I think in a start nine, I think you just want 9 starters that bang. I think the what I was looking at median scoring over the last 5 years for RB1s is 19.1. RB2 is 13.98. Wide receiver 1 is a 17.62. Wide receiver 2 is 14.98. Tight ends are averaging 11.86. Flex is 11.93, and your second flex is 11.2. Um, I think CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb could reach the 17.62 mark. Cooper Cup, if he stays healthy, he is definitely. So you got two guys that can do that there. Addison, I think Addison could probably hit you know 12 to 14 range for
Yeah,
points per game. Like you said, your running backs, I think, are going to be kind of they're going to be kind of
that's gonna be
iffy.
my dodge sheet. That's
Yeah,
running back wise. I'm just hoping they each hit 10 every week.
and
That's
I
that's
and I
that's the
think
goal.
and I think Lockett and Sutton, especially with those injuries in Denver,
Hmm.
I think they could do pretty well for you. And Joku, I think Cleveland's gonna be better. They got a nice offensive line. I think Watson's gonna be better. Um, I yeah, but I mean you have to make
A
you have to
trade or
make
two.
yeah. I mean with anything, you are gonna come out in a dynasty draft. You're gonna come out lacking in some area,
Yep.
and
Especially a 12 team.
yeah,
10 teams a little different,
yeah,
but 12 team, yeah, you're going to be lacking somewhere. Just kind of
yeah,
the process until you figure out the gist of everything you want and age and all that stuff. So
yeah, yeah. But I mean, 2,500 simulations, and you're sitting at 4. So, it's not a bad spot to be in. So,
definitely Kirk Cousins is getting traded at some point to put me in the edge.
you could be, and I think that's what people may see is, you're definitely gonna have to have a second quarterback. You know, you can't have two wide receivers and then two wide receivers in the flex on top of that, and then just pick a running back or a wide receiver for that super flex too,
Yeah.
because I mean, people are starting like
That's your fifth tier running back or fifth tier
wide
receiver. Yeah.
receiver. I mean, that's yeah. I don't know if you're winning that one to be fair. So, um, I kind of want to maybe a little bit different route. I snagged Justin Herbert in the first round. I want to get the top 8 quarterback. I was sitting at 6, so kind of an easy choice. I had Lawrence, I had Jackson, I had Fields ahead of us. Um,
A lot of options there.
yeah, you get a lot of options. I think Herbert's going to be kind of nice. I mean, he loves to throw the rock. I think Kellen Moore is going to do
What, what,
pretty well
what,
for him.
what would you have done there if Herbert got taken at 5?
Uh, well, to be fair, I found out beforehand Herbert
But
was not
yeah,
going to be taken at 5,
yeah.
but
To be fair, if
uh,
he didn't tell you beforehand,
I was going Jackson, Lamar Jackson.
you were
He
going
was getting
to okay.
snagged. Yeah. And then I would have gone a win now, just because I think with Jackson you have to. I think with Jackson you have to win now, just because you don't necessarily know the longevity of him. I mean, I
Yep.
know he got his fat contract, but I mean he takes some hits, um,
Just the way he runs. Yep.
and I mean, and he hasn't been. I mean, he doesn't seem available in the last half, third of the season.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I would have gone Lamar Jackson, and I would have gone a win now. To be fair,
Okay.
I traded away the second. What did I trade away the second for? The like the 3-1 and a sixth and a um 24 first, I think it was. Got rid of that. I snagged Deshaun Watson in the third round, which I think is a pretty good value over Dak Prescott, A. Rich, Kyler Murray. I thought about taking Kyler Murray and just punting, but I mean, I don't think anyone wants Deshaun Watson. To be fair, well, I take it back. Gibb would have taken Deshaun Watson at 3.3. So had to snag him before that because I think Deshaun Watson is going to be. I mean, Deshaun Watson.
He's got to have a better year.
I mean,
Has to.
dude, he was 5. He was 5. He was 5 in his
Yeah.
last 3 good years. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
play in 2021.
I just played
Played
6 games
six
last year.
games and he was out of sorts. I mean, he's got the huge contract. He's going to play. So yeah, I'll take it. Um, Tyreek Hill at 3.6. I'm thinking here.
He'll
Why?
win you some games. If you go back to last year, he had a couple 40 burgers. He'll throw up some big numbers and he'll win you some games.
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill is. Well, I guess I didn't want to show this PPR stats, but Tyreek Hill is a top 6 wide receiver in the last 7 years. So, honestly, I don't necessarily know if at this point I'm thinking, okay, let's win now. Um, but I already got the first round draft pick the next year. Not really sure, but things are looking up. I snag Nick Chubb in the fourth round. Nick Chubb, I think, is going to look real good here next year. Um, they got rid of Kareem Hunt, and he's got to catch the ball at some point. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he caught a decent bit over the 2018, 2019, or whatever it was. But I mean, he's been a running back one, 4 out of the last 5 years,
For
um,
sure.
yeah, or on the verge of it. So I think he probably has one more good, two maybe 2 more good years in him. He's kind of at that cusp. He's at 27 here right now, but I mean, Nick Chubb is a monster. So I did lose the 5-6 in that trade for the second. Kind of moved that around a little bit. I would have liked DJ Moore. That's okay. But I do snag Chris Godwin at the 6-7. I'm honestly, Chris Godwin is going to be in the slot. He's going to catch a lot of balls, and I think he's one of those guys that's kind of sneaky as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that wide receiver 2 range. Um, I
Just
think
has
if
to stay healthy.
he has to stay healthy, second year out of the ACL, we'll see what happens. White, I'm pretty stoked about. He's one I think that could make a bit of
Well,
a
again,
difference.
I
Eh,
would say again going back to me with Kirk Cousins, if the Bucks want to be in games, they're gonna have to sling it.
They're gonna have to.
So Godwin, a lot of targets. Ricard White, a lot of dump offs. Go get the first down. Uh,
Yeah,
with Baker or Trask, I don't know who's going to win that job, but yeah, they're going to be in games. They're going to have to sling it.
yeah, and I agree. I think Baker kind of loves to. I think he's gonna have to dump it down a little bit to White. So in a PPR, you lose Fournette. White had 30, 40 some odd receptions here last year as well. So someone's got to catch that ball, and I think White is. Um, Marquise Brown, Arizona's gonna be so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to catch the ball. I think Wilson's going to be kind of nice. That the new wide receiver. He may be the only one that has any height on him at all. But I mean, Marquise Brown is good, and he only has one more year left in this contract. He could go anywhere. To be fair, if Arizona really wants to tank, they could trade him midseason, and someone else could pick him up. So I think that's another one that's as I go further on down the list, I'm thinking, do I just trade bait every one of these guys? I mean, I think you can wrap your head around like a scenario for all these guys. To be fair,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't think I could win this season, so I don't necessarily know if the goal for me is to put it when the 2,500 simulations, I'm sitting at eighth. If I'm
Yeah,
sitting at eighth, I might as well, cash out on a few of these guys. I'm holding on to my first, so I know it's gonna be bad. Um, I only have like 5 running backs on the squad. Some of these running backs are not necessarily the younger type. Nick Chubb, McKinnon. Um, maybe I could have taken like, you know, maybe some younger wide receivers a little bit later, but I think there's still going to be some value that's going to be left in some of these guys. So
for sure.
I'm not really sure. Aaron Rodgers and Trey Lance. I'm just hoping San Francisco gets rid of Trey Lance. I mean, what do you think about the situation going on in San Francisco?
I don't. I just don't understand it.
I
You spent all those picks to trade up and get Lance, and you're essentially punting on him already for Mister Irrelevant. Um, Granted, Brock Purdy had some good games that when he came in, but I
Yeah,
also think it's the system. You got a top five O line. You got the best running back in the league. You got a top five tight end, and
Debo and Ayuk are good players too,
yeah,
and they got a nice defense.
yeah. I mean, you have one of the top defenses in the league, and then you got like you said, Debo and Ayuk. What
Is
would you
the
put both
idea
of them?
that they really don't
Both
need a
both
quarterback?
top 15.
Sorry,
Would you put Ayuk and Samuel top 15,
you
or
know,
at least top 20?
yeah, uh, top 25. I think the problem with Samuel could be a nut, but the problem is that McCaffrey took a lot of his
Sweeps and all, took a
took
lot of plays out of the way. Yes,
yeah, and that's probably a good thing for San Francisco, but it's not a good thing for fantasy.
I don't think they trade
Um,
Lance. Um, I feel
ugh,
like with their injury history with quarterbacks, I feel like they keep both.
fair,
Uh,
makes sense.
I don't know how Brock Purdy is already back to playing with the UCL injury to his elbow. Um, but in my opinion, he's looking like the one.
Yeah, we'll have. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. I think like someone said in the chat here recently is you have almost every day you have. Oh, Trey Lance went nuts today. Purdy was dog water, and then the
Uh-huh.
opposite happens the next day.
Yeah,
But I think this is the problem with with social media right now is you can literally say anything, and there could be people that are not even there at the site that are saying these things, and you know, I mean, people read headlines; they don't necessarily read the whole article.
yeah,
I've been a victim of that. I've been doing the same thing.
yeah.
So I just hope that Trey Lance is, I'm able to use him as bait for later.
Well, yeah,
Um,
that's the other thing is what can the 49ers actually get for him? They're not going to get the draft capital that they traded
but
to
was
get
that
up to get him.
third, third, third pick overall?
But yeah, I'm saying the draft capital they traded to get
Yeah.
up to that position, they're not going to get that back. That's already a guarantee without even a thought.
Why?
So
Why would you?
is it worth to trade him? Is the value worth it in that grand scheme of things, or do you keep him because you have injury history with your quarterback? So
And
um,
I guess I think of it as like, yeah, and I guess that the injury history is the kicker. But why would you let a dude rot on your team if you're never ever going to use him? If
well,
you
yeah,
don't
you
value,
traded up and drafted him at third overall. I just don't see how you don't play him. But at the same time, the way Purdy played last year, he commanded the offense.
yeah,
He wasn't anything spectacular. He wasn't a Josh Allen. He wasn't a Pat Mahomes. He wasn't a Hurts. He ran that offense how it was supposed to be run, and he ran it perfectly. Um,
yeah,
they have a tough decision to make. I feel like, and that's the other thing with them adding Sam Darnold to the mix as well. I feel like I think Trey Lance is going to get traded somewhere, um, and you go Darnold. That's your number two. I don't know.
I hope he gets traded because you go to Atlanta, you go to Tampa Bay, you go to I don't know anywhere else, and instantly Trey Lance's value goes up. So
For sure, but then you also got to look at those teams. The 49ers catered their offense to the Trey Lance system. Can Trey Lance do that somewhere else is the issue. It's kind of like Lamar. The Ravens catered the offense to Lamar's play style. I don't know how
you know,
Trey
and
Lance's play style works for other teams. I don't
and
know.
I guess I think I haven't seen Trey Lance even play enough. I
Yeah,
have no idea what Trey Lance can even do in the
yeah,
NFL.
exactly.
And I guess I see San Francisco as like a plug and play quarterback. Who gives a
Hmm.
shit
Yeah.
who is playing quarterback?
Yeah. With all
Um,
the weapons they have, you could throw
it it doesn't
Purdy
matter.
and Lance could get hurt, and I think they'd be fine with Sam Darnold, honestly.
He could probably. I mean, and especially in the NFC, you could
Yo, he 100%
probably.
get into the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, and especially, oh man, in that division too. Arizona's tanking. Rams are dog water. What are we doing here? Um, Aaron Rodgers. How many more years do you think Aaron has in him?
Two. I think
Two.
he's. I think he'll go this year, see how they do. If they win it all, I think he's done.
Okay.
If they don't, if they make the playoffs or they don't make the playoffs, I think he's coming back for another year to give it one more go. But yeah, he's yeah. I'm giving him 2 years max, in my opinion. So
Hmm.
I mean that's great value there, though. What is that? 8-12.
Yeah.
That's great value for him, in my opinion. So that was a smart pick there.
I think I would have rather had Russell Wilson for sure. Um,
eh,
honestly, I was really, really upset that Deontay Johnson wasn't there. I was hoping for Deontay Johnson.
eh,
Um, Deontay Johnson cannot have a 0 touchdown year
Zero
next year.
shot. There's no
There's
way.
no way. The dude
With
gets
how
140 targets. There's zero
yeah,
chance.
how many targets he gets, I don't know how he didn't get one last year. Granted, the Steelers' offense was
It was
just
terrible.
terrible, but there's just no way you can go back to back years without a
Yeah.
touchdown.
Um,
But I feel like Rodgers is another trade bait for you.
yeah, I'm gonna use those two guys.
For sure, Herbert and Watson are your two quarterbacks for the next 8 years.
8 years. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And if one week comes down to it and you got to play someone else in the Superflex, fine.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think um, next pick Dalton Schultz. I think Houston is going to. I mean, I hope they use the shit out of him down in Houston. Um, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about that, but I think he could get 80, 90 targets, and as a you know, he could be borderline tight end one, top 12 tight end in the 11th round. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Sky Moore, I think Sky Moore is the for the next 2 years. I think Sky Moore. I mean, I said it earlier. I think Sky Moore is going to have over 750 yards this year.
For sure.
Um, if if he can't make it with Patrick Mahomes, he can't make it with anyone.
Yeah.
So he either flops this year, or he,
He does what
he,
he's projected and supposed to do. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm already getting trade offers for Kadarius Tony in a second. No way, Kadarius Tony. I don't know what to think about the dude. Um, I just I don't understand Tony. So
Yeah.
I hope he stays healthy. But goodness me, what are we doing?
Dude's a stud when he's out on the field. It's just he
Can't stay
can't.
healthy.
Yeah, he's made of glass.
Like Ian said, that's the thing that makes him dangerous is the thing that makes him dangerous to himself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
his knees are just I don't know. Um, Downsy, Josh Downs. I think Downs is gonna be a nice player. I kind of worry about the about A Rich in Indianapolis.
Yeah,
Um,
he'll be
you
the
know,
three slot guy. So
yeah, Pittman, Pierce, and then Downs. Mechie's one where I mean Mechie's a good player, but dude, going through cancer and receiving chemotherapy is a poison.
yeah,
It is not easy to go through chemotherapy. You taking a year out too. It is so easy to decondition. It's so hard to gain it back. I
yeah,
hope Mechie's nice, but kind of another punt. I kind of thought about Romeo Dobbs, Dubes, whatever his name is. I was hoping he be on the He may be on the way back, but that's when I snapped McKinnon.
Would you have taken Dubs there to McKinnon if Dubs is there?
Um, I think I was planning on it.
Mm, that hurts. I need to talk with Coy then.
But I think my problem was at that point was like I have two running backs and it's
Yeah.
the 13th round, so I need to do something.
Yep.
Um, these last guys, Tillman, I'm thinking like Tillman's like 6'4", 6'3". I think he may have been the better route runner than Hyatt at Tennessee. Um, but like they have they have Deshaun Watson for the next 5 years. They're not
Yep.
picking up another wide receiver
Well,
that's
and
going to be
Donovan Peoples Jones is gone after this year, so that's his replacement essentially is
yeah.
Tillman.
And they're not going to pay a big contract for another wide receiver. They have Deshaun Watson on like 250 mil.
Yeah.
I don't know. Uh, Chark, Gallup, Puka Nakua, Hawaii's finest.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Rest of the squad is uh, fair. Maybe
Hoping to
maybe
hit something.
Kittle retires. Let's see who takes his place. Kate Otten. I mean,
He's the
tight
one.
T1 in Tampa. He's got to play something. At some point, Kelsey has to retire. As much as I don't want to say it, but Noah Gray, I don't know. Maybe he's the guy.
I'm hoping
Um,
somehow we trade up for Brock Bowers next year.
I just don't know if that's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize KJ Hamler has pericarditis.
Yeah.
How
I
do you
saw that the
get
other day.
how do you get inflammation of the heart at 24? What is going on here?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Trubisky, I could care less whether or not uh, Pickett gets hurt, but if he does, I'm asking delivery boy. You want
Yeah.
to trade there, dog? Um, but I mean, I think this, but like I said, this is the best part about Dynasty. Even when you're losing, you're winning. So I think that's what people have to keep in mind is like yeah, you can be mediocre, but like being mediocre doesn't necessarily do anything. You want to either suck or you want to be, you know, top three.
Yeah.
So, um, who do you got? Who do you think wins it all next year?
Looking at the rosters, I'm going with Tay just because he sold his entire future to win this year, essentially. Um, Trading his next two first round picks, 2024 and 2025. I think he has a fourth round pick in 2024 is his only pick left. He sold out for the entire year. It'll all come down to his QB2 is going to be the issue. If Russell Wilson has a stinker like he did last year, or he does
Yeah,
better, but I feel like he has the best overall starting nine, in my opinion.
I if one of these receivers gets hurt, one of these top three receivers gets hurt, Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, Mike Evans, I would be really worried for his team. I think his
Yeah.
running backs are really nice. McCaffrey, Pierce, Sanders, James Conner in the 10th round. I think is an
I
excellent
wanted
pick.
I wanted Connor there too.
Yeah. Um, Brian Robinson, I think, is a really good pick. But if his wide receivers don't stay healthy, whew, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I think Delivery Boy, Diggs, Olave, Deontay Johnson, Juju, and maybe Odell intermittently. Um, he's got Pollard, he's got Walker, he's got Kittle and Waller. Um,
I feel like he's got to trade one of those tight ends if he wants to kick it into overdrive somewhere else.
what would you trade that for?
Waller and something else to get a better quarterback too.
Yeah, he's got to
I don't
move.
think you have a chance of winning the league with Kenny Pickett as your two. I
Eh,
think he averaged 15 last year.
Um, yeah, he was 28th
Yeah,
in
you're not going
PPR.
to win a league with that as your two. You got to trade something.
That's really bad. Um, I mean, Gibb, he probably needs another quarterback.
Oh, he went the young route. I think everyone on his team's 26 or younger. What's Allen?
27.
So his entire team, or not maybe entire team, but starting nine is under 27.
Yeah, AJ. I mean, Stevenson, Javante Williams maybe is something that
Iffy.
ah,
Buffalo running backs have never been good, so Cook's kind of a who knows.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Love his first
Coy.
5 picks though.
Yeah, that's fair. Coy, Burrow, Goff. Those are nice. I think those are pretty nice
Goff's a good
QBs.
good pick there at your second quarterback.
Barkley, Jacobs, Kamara, Gibson. Those are nice running backs. Adams, and then we have a drop off to Burks, Davis. I think Cooks could be a sneaky one. I think Wilson could be a
Yeah,
sneaky
his
one.
weak spot's definitely receiver.
Just Cranch. Does Cranch have a shot?
No.
Chase, Watson.
Overdrafted on Kelsey, overdrafted on Prescott,
I
overdraft
mean, for
overdrafted on Gino.
for a I mean a quarterback one, Dak Prescott in the third round. I think he's okay. Who would you rather take in there? Would you rather take in Rich, Murray, Young, Jones, Tua?
Yep.
All of them?
Yep.
Okay. Uh, 30 years old. He's still got a couple more years in him. I don't think Cringe team's that bad.
Dobbins, he's sitting out and he's always injured. Who knows? Christian
Khalil,
Watson, what's Christian Watson going to do without A. Rogers?
I think he'll be surprising.
D Hop's
William,
trash. Mike Williams is
okay, we'll see. We'll
Mike
see.
Williams has those 3 games a year where he absolutely throws and then he just disappears the rest of the year.
That's fair. Gonzi,
His two, if you're only starting 2 running backs, good squad.
yeah,
Your issue's going to be Richardson. Who knows what he's going to do? Debo again,
streaky.
streaky. Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
I hit Harris over there. So running back wise, he's good. Quarterback, you don't know what Richardson's going to do. Tony's obviously already injured. Elijah Moore, be interesting to see what he does with Cleveland. He'll be the slot guy there. Love the tight ends.
yeah.
I put him top 5.
Be interesting where Cream Hunt goes.
Yeah,
Cream
top
Hunt
5 might
maybe.
have a shot there. Definitely need to upgrade quarterback and receiver though.
Ian,
He's punting.
man, what a nice wide receiver room though. Jefferson, London, Judy, Ridley, Dotson, Jalen Reed.
Yeah, very good young
Jaden Reed,
roster
sorry.
receiver wise. Your QB1's Mac Jones though.
Yeah, I mean Kyler Murray.
He's not going to play. There's no reason why Arizona should
There's no
let him play
reason.
this year.
Yeah, that's fair. Could be Sam Darnold. That could be his QB one.
Great wide receiver room. Brees Hall's a stud. So you got somewhat of a good stepping stone for the next couple of years, and you got a couple first rounders for years to come. So
He's in for Caleb Williams. That's where
yeah,
he's going. Ravens Slock, Jackson, and Carr.
weak
Nice.
spot's going to be QB2.
I think Carr will be all right. I think Carr.
No,
could
Carr will be in the 15 to 20 range.
Yeah.
If he overperforms, he'll be in the 10 to 15. Wide receiver 2, you going Quentin Johnston?
Terry Amari.
Okay, so you going with that roster that you're looking at right there. You going starting Eckler and Mixon, and then those
Yep.
four receivers.
We'll see what Bateman does. We'll see who the wide receiver one in Houston is.
I just don't know what Sam Howell's going to do at QB for Washington for McLaurin.
Yeah.
Grant McLaurin just puts up numbers every year, regardless of his trash quarterback.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnston, oh man, dude. Keenan Allen, Eckler, Mike Williams. He's the number 4 option.
They've
They
only got one more year of Keenan Allen.
I get that.
Williams,
Yeah, that's a future pick. I'm going off of he has a shot to win this year. I would say no.
I think he would have been another one that he'd have loved Judy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was upset when he got picked. I'm pretty sure he said something about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think your team just need a new running back.
I would put me in the 5 to 9 range. Realistically, where I end up, probably 5 to 9. I'll be on the cusp of making the playoffs. Maybe make it as a 5 or 6 seed, but iffy.
Someone's got to make it though, Brian. Right?
Yeah.
Sean, he's got AJ Brown, Pittman, Michael Thomas, Mingo, Lazard as his wide receivers.
Ugh.
Taylor, Henry, Pacheco, Monty, A-Chain. Danny Jones and Jordan Love.
Yeah, no.
Just
he'll be 8 to 12.
8 to 12. Okay. Yeah, he needs to make a few moves. I'm not sure.
I just feel like Danny Jones is too late to be going as your QB1.
He needs to think about something.
I like Danny Jones as a super flex QB2. I don't like him as a QB1.
Yeah. Would you have taken Tua over Danny Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Weapons wise, yes.
Health wise,
no.
But you got to factor that in. But would you have taken him?
You do have to factor that in. Yes, I still would have taken Tua.
You was taking Tua over Danny Jones. Okay. And Kyle Pitts, we'll see who's thrown to him. Pittman, I think, is the one that I don't know about. I think I would have taken Calvin Ridley above Pittman just because I
would
know
take Debo there as well, or Godwin or McLaurin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or Jared Goff.
Maybe Jared Goff is the better answer. I think I would have. I
100% would have gotten Goff there instead of Pittman.
Would you have gone Ayuk instead of Henry and then Goff instead of Pittman?
Yes, 100%.
Well, hindsight's 2020. And then Frank.
But then that also puts him into the Swift, Akers, Pacheco as his RB2 though, instead of Henry as RB2.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it's yeah, you got it's
you got to make concessions somewhere, right?
Yep.
So,
sure.
And then Frank takes Bijan,
first 2 picks,
Garrett Wilson,
Love.
Tua, Stroud, Ayuk, Williams, Pickens, Kirk.
His running back room is dog water.
I mean, would you take? I think I'd probably take his over mine. I don't know.
Definitely not. Charbonnet is not even the number 1 on his team, so it already makes his running back room terrible compared to yours.
Yeah, but I mean the bell cow has gone away. I don't know. I think this was a
instead of Jameson Williams, I would have gone Sanders, or Javonte, or J.K. Dobbins, or Rachaad White, or Aaron Jones, or Joe Mixon.
Okay, and I think this is kind of a mixed bag.
He'll be in 8 to 12 as well.
For a lot of us, I think this was a our first draft, and we'll be better next time. But
to be fair, though, if you look at his picks on the left, that's future picks over there. Country Miller and Tyjae Spears is for the future. So he's got running backs for the future. Just he's not in it for this year for sure.
Yeah. I think I'd probably maybe trade Ayuk and maybe Stroud to see if you couldn't maybe
You're
see if you
not
could.
trading Stroud there with him being
Uh, yeah, I guess you got
that
Stafford.
young.
Yeah, maybe you trade the hopes that Stafford and Garoppolo do well, and you trade them for trade them to a team that you can get a first on maybe later. I
Yeah,
don't know. Um, but interesting concept. I think the problem is people need to make sure that they are moving these things
that
because
was his issue. He drafted 5 receivers before he drafted his second running back. Was his issue.
yeah, yeah. I think it'd be interesting.
I would have gone Pacheco or Akers or Madison on that kick round instead of Kirk, since you already had the 4 receivers before that. But you
Kirkman's
had
so tantalizing though.
he is, but you starting 5 receivers in your lineup.
I'm starting 4.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah,
Grant Jameson Williams is out for the first 6 weeks, so you have to plan around that. But there's no point in having 5 receivers there if you can't play 5 receivers.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think I would probably taken Sanders over JMO and let someone else pick him.
Yep,
And then I probably would have taken Kirk and then Amari Cooper over Pickens. I just don't dig Pickens, man. I'm not sure what it is.
I
But
just don't dig that Steelers offense besides Najee.
yeah, that's fair. Um, but that's that's the glorious part about this game is you get to construct your team how you want, and it is what it is. So,
Strategy, bro.
uh, man, I love it. So, I think that's all we had for you. To be fair, man, like you said, I think we really want to get back into the twice a week career coming up. Trying to work on a few things, see if I can't clip some videos of things going on. But man, once we get into the season, twice a week
It's the goal.
is the game plan. So um,
Tuesday and hopefully Friday or
yeah,
Saturday, something
Saturday
like that.
morning, something like that before college football starts.
Yep.
Oof. Man, wonderful time of the year. So, um, B, you got any last words for us?
Just keep watching us for good insight on your drafts. We're gonna have
Questionable insight.
we have a couple more coming up here. Grant, not Dynasty. We got a couple of redrafts. Me and him in 2 redrafts together. Me and Smith. I think I have 4 redrafts total left.
God damn.
So I think I'm at 6 drafts this year. So or 6 leagues. We already had a dynasty draft before this, and then we just drafted this new dynasty, and then I got 4 redrafts. You just got 2 redrafts because you joined mine, correct?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
don't have any other
No.
ones besides the random ones that you're buying into.
No. I was I got a little bit of a degen in me here for about 2 weeks. No, I just think that I think in general it's cool to meet new people. It's cool to see new perspectives.
For sure.
Couple of Steelers guys in this other one, and then people from all over the place on this other one. Kid from
Again,
Australia.
that's I know
Uh,
we're starting off small and whatnot, but that's the goal is to hopefully have every team's fan come on here and talk about
yeah,
football, what they want for their team in the future, all that stuff. I know we've had Bears, Cowboys, Ravens, Eagles,
Bucks.
Bucks as well,
Yeah.
but not a lot of different teams besides the Chiefs where we're at.
Oh God, man,
we
Chiefs are
need
just
we need to make more
not.
friends, apparently.
That is always, to be fair. But yeah, I think that's it for us here tonight. So appreciate everyone joining in.
Love it.
Um, until next time, take it easy, guys.
Cheers.